The most common question I get on my videos is whether or not their team is good. So today we're going to go ahead and break down the factors that go into my decision making for teams, weapons, artifacts, stat priority, elemental reactions, so that you can start making the best decisions for yourself. And let's face it, Genshin has so many options, tons of units, everyone's experience is different because whether they're free to play, pay to play, random luck, progression, they got Diluc on their first pull, when they started, all that shit. And there's all these videos out there on each unit that all of these whales post, and they break down each unit in valuable ways like, oh man, this person's an S+ tier support. And at the end, I'm always left thinking, what if scenarios for every adventurer that watches this? It dawned on me that we always talk about these units when they're at their best, but we don't really always discuss these units or showcase them when they're at their worst or their base level. So today I'm going to help you answer the questions: is this unit good? Do you think this team works? What artifact should I put on this unit? Why are people sleeping on Amber when she is so OP? And look, if you really don't care about this and you just want me to tell you whether or not Amber is really great with a certain team, that's cool with me. I'll continue making unit videos. But as long as you like this video and subscribe so you know when I finally post that video about Amber, which will probably be never unless they make her better. Now, the first thing we got to do is categorize the unit in their role, okay? Roles are super important in this game. You've got carry, DPS, tank, support, synergy, reactions, shield healer, healer, whatever other name label you can throw out there that makes people nod their head when they're listening to you. But Mur, how do you do this? Well, in every video review of a unit we've always done, we start with the talents, skills, and constellations, and then the level up section to identify how is the unit prepared for us. Like when people say Paimon is annoying, therefore she's prepared for us to be emergency food. The first thing we look at is the main stat when ascended. You can find that in the level up section. Their kit is either built on this or it is there to fill a gap that their kit creates by focusing on other mechanics. The second part is the skill kit of the unit. This is going to consider the elemental skill, the elemental burst, and for each of them respectively, the cooldowns, energy costs, and charges of each. This is going to tell us the duration and frequency in which we're going to be able to use this unit optimally. After looking at the main skills, you're going to look at the 1-star and 4-star ascended skills. You're going to need to look at these and think about how it would be used in a rotation. Is it a party buff? Is it an energy recharge under certain conditions? Is it an increase to certain damage? Does it increase the time a skill is active? These are extremely important to figure out how this unit is being built as you level it up further. And then that brings us to the talent level ups for these skills. This tells me the scaling of the character's abilities and which ones are worthy of investing. I normally will look on the wiki for these because some whale out there has already leveled up Barbara to make them a damage dealer. Then we're going to look at weapons, which this is the most vital piece for a lot of units. People get so stoked to get 5-star units and it's like a kid who got a car without a license. It looks nice in the garage. The options available is free to play, battle pass, and RNG/luck/banner, standard banner, all that are extremely important when weighing in how great a unit can be. There are weapons that are built on making a unit substantially stronger, which brings us to the next part about artifacts. The goal of artifacts are to buff, debuff, fill stat gaps, amplify conditions like elemental reactions, healing, shields, and more. It's best to look at these after you've categorized the units to know what they're strong and weak in before you tackle this part. Most builds centralize support units to enhance reactions or create buffs for the DPS to benefit from to cause an amplified elemental reaction or to increase their attack by X% for an amount of seconds while under so-and-so stacked effects. Now, once you've considered all these things and you have built a team, it's time to test it out and take it for a joyride. Your goal is to go through a bunch of random mobs, elites, and different scaled enemies. I would even recommend going through some of the harder dungeons with them as well, and just testing them out and going through a rotation and figuring out what rotations work and which ones don't. And so for me, it takes me probably about 20 minutes for me to figure out the right rotation given the team, given their cooldowns, and given what they do, what buffs that they're granting, and which unit is going to be highlighting this, or at what point do I switch them out. These are extremely important for maximizing DPS as well as the elemental reactions you're doing. Now, while testing these builds, you also want to pay attention to some of the mechanics that are going on during the battle. Are you proccing the right elemental reactions? How are the weapons doing? Are they proccing their passive abilities? Are you getting the stat buff to the right unit? Is one unit on the field longer than you thought they were? And is your team not benefiting from that? And after analyzing all of these things, you're trying to identify what things can you solve for and what things are unsolvable, meaning that you're going to have to replace the unit or you have to continue with this team knowing that that's something that you're going to run into in certain battles and it may hold you back in certain places. The beauty of testing these, though, is that you don't need characters to be high leveled in order to test out the rotations for support units. The DPS unit is primarily the only one you're going to need to have leveled, The others are rotational, and so that means that you don't even have to worry so much about them being level 50, 60, 70, 80 to be able to test them and see what they're doing. And if you do have a unit that you did level that it's not working in your comp, it's okay, because you're still going to need a lot of options for Abyss, and you're going to have rotating options depending on some of the factors that Abyss has. And if you're ever stuck on trying to figure out how to solve a problem for a team comp, I always recommend reaching out to somebody else and asking for help. I use a lot of the comments that you guys put on my videos to test different builds and different ideas to see if maybe I'm being ignorant, to try and test to see if there's something better out there so that I can deliver better content to you. And be careful when you see tier lists for units, because most of them are misleading. I've seen a lot of content creators post these and talk about how trash some units are, and then in their massive damage videos, I see Sucrose and Bennett, and you see them post 2 separate videos about how they suck and how great they are. It's such a beta move, dude. The way I look at it is every unit in this game was built to support in some way, even if it isn't immediately clear. We have new content, units, weapons, probably new dungeons and enemies as well. Who knows, maybe Amber will get a bow that makes her Queen Bey, and then you're going to be pissed for not building her. Anyways, I hope that this video helps you, and if it did, leave a like, sub, comment, tell your friends, or don't, but it's cool, because you made it this far, so I forgive you. Good luck with building your teams. If you want me to go into more depth with any of this, comment it below and it'll be my next vid, and I will see you in the next one.